The room was dim, lit only by the flicker of a faulty overhead light. Chairs scraped against concrete as a dozen figures shifted restlessly, each face tense, eyes fixed on the lone man standing at the center. His coat was soaked from the rain outside, and his expression betrayed nothing. He set a small black bag on the table and unzipped it slowly, deliberately. The silence thickened. Inside, a metal case, locked. "You know why we're here," he said. No time to second guess. His voice was calm, cutting. One of them, a younger man with a scar under his eye, leaned forward. "You sure it's real?" The man didn't respond. He took out a key from around his neck and opened the case. Inside lay a silver device, smooth, humming softly. The room collectively inhaled. They had heard rumors, but now it sat before them, undeniable. "That changes everything," someone muttered. "No," the man replied. "It ends everything." A woman in the back, tall, composed, clearly military, stepped forward. "You tested it." "Twice. Untraceable. Clean. It works." "Then what's the hesitation?" He paused. "Because using it means there's no undoing what follows." The group fell silent again. The weight of what sat in the case pressed into each chest. One of them, older, with graying hair and steady hands, broke the silence. "If we wait, we lose the edge. If we act, we burn bridges we can't rebuild. We need clarity." The man shut the case and locked it again. "Clarity doesn't exist anymore. We've only options. No right one. Just necessary ones." The scarred man stood. "So we vote." "No vote," the woman said. "This was never democratic. You knew that coming in." The tension cracked like ice underfoot. No one moved. Then, a door behind them opened. A boy, barely 17, stepped in, out of place. His eyes scanned the room, stopping on the device. "You found it," he said quietly. All eyes turned to him. "You weren't supposed to be here," the man said. "I know. But I had to see it. I had to know." He stepped closer, unafraid. "That thing doesn't solve anything. It just resets the board with different players." "You think we haven't tried everything else?" the older man snapped. "You think diplomacy still works?" "I think it's easier to pull a trigger than to admit you're afraid," the boy said. The room went still. No one had the energy to refute it. The man with the case finally spoke. "This device isn't about fear. It's about control. And we're out of time." He took the key and placed it in the woman's hand. "You'll do it." She nodded once. The lights flickered. Somewhere far above, the sound of helicopters pulsed like a heartbeat. The woman opened the case again, took the device, and turned to the group. "No speeches," she said. "No promises. Just action." She left through the same door the boy entered. The others sat in silence, knowing nothing would be the same by dawn. The facility went dark at exactly 3 o'clock. Not a flicker, not a warning, just immediate blackout. Emergency systems kicked in, casting the corridors in a dull red glow. Boots hit metal grates as security teams scrambled into formation, rifles raised, eyes scanning. Protocols activated. No alarms were triggered, but every trained mind understood, this wasn't a malfunction. Deep underground, the woman moved with purpose. The device, now in a reinforced carrier, was strapped to her back. No entourage. No hesitation. Her comm crackled once, brief, coded. She didn't respond. On level 9, control struggled to override the lockdown. Systems didn't respond. A technician cursed under his breath, sweat dotting his forehead. "We've lost access to internal schematics," he said. "Something rewrote the core firmware." "How long to reboot?" "Too late. Whoever's moving already owns the system." The director stood behind them, watching silently. "Then, seal the lower levels. If someone's gone rogue, we contain it." "Won't help," the technician replied. "They're not rogue. They're ahead." Back above, the boy moved through a forgotten service corridor, narrow and lined with exposed pipes. He carried nothing. His presence was unauthorized, unnoticed, by design. He followed a hand-drawn map on torn paper, each corner marked with cryptic numbers. He moved fast, turning left, down, right. He didn't hesitate. He had seen this before, in simulations no one knew he accessed. 2 floors below, the woman reached a reinforced door. She entered a 6-digit code, then pressed her thumb against the scanner. The door hissed open, revealing a sterile chamber. A single chair, a wall of monitors, and a slot built precisely to receive the device. She placed it in. Across the base, lights flickered again. The system recognized the core. New options unlocked. In control, the technician stared at the screen. Something's overriding our feeds. Wait, what is this? On screen, a message. Relinquishing operational authority. Everyone froze. She's triggering the failsafe, the director said. Not possible. The failsafe requires unanimous biometric consensus. Apparently not anymore. A secondary message appeared. Authority override accepted. Initiating restructure. The room erupted into noise. The boy arrived seconds later. He stood outside the chamber, unseen. The woman inside stared at the monitors. Then she turned slightly, sensing him. I knew you'd come. He stepped forward. You shouldn't do this. I already have. It won't hold. You'll reset things, sure. But the patterns repeat. Always. She looked at him, genuinely, first time without walls. Then maybe it's not about stopping the pattern. Maybe it's about choosing where it restarts. He shook his head. You're choosing who gets to survive. No, she said. I'm choosing who gets to decide. She reached toward the panel. Final command. He took a step forward, hand raised. Let me show you something. She paused. 1 minute, he said. 30 seconds. She waited. He pulled a small object from his pocket, barely larger than a coin. He placed it on the glass between them. A flicker. A projection. Data. Historical chains. Probabilities. Simulations she hadn't seen. She stared. Her expression changed, almost imperceptibly. Where did you get this? I built it, he said. Timer flashed on the monitor. 30 seconds. She stared at the projection again. And hesitated outside. The first tremors were subtle. The wind shifted unnaturally. Clouds above the base began rotating, slow at first, then accelerating, spiraling with measured intent. Surveillance towers lost visual range. Satellites recalibrated, unsuccessfully. Signal loss spread across the grid like infection. Inside, the woman remained still, eyes locked on the projection. The data the boy showed wasn't theoretical. It was real. Predictive modeling, scenario loops, consequence trees stretching decades forward. The device's activation had a 93% probability of short-term peace. Long-term collapse, 98%. She looked at him. What's the alternative? Distributed control. No central node. No single point of failure. Collective inputs, real-time adaptation. You think chaos is safer than hierarchy? No. I think hierarchy built on fear always implodes. She stared at the monitors. Her hand hovered over the final command. Then she pulled it back. The device retracted into its casing. On level 4, the override lights dimmed. Status panels flickered back to neutral. Control regained partial access. She stopped, the technician said.